The Bunker Project, episode number 14. Welcome back to another episode of The Bunker Project. This week, all about full disclosure and Grandmaster MC Scott Patton. All right, welcome back to another episode of The Bunker Project. My name is Andrew McGivern, and I'm here in the Bunker Bar on Robson Street in Vancouver with Bob Garland.
I'm struggling. I'm in beer number 3.
So today we're going to talk about a few different things, and the first thing we're going to talk about is Grandmaster MC Pat On.
Which is a video. So if you Google that, will that get you there?
If you YouTube it, it'll get you there.
Yeah, totally.
It is Scott Patton. He is a podcasting
mastermind.
He's a podcasting
Dude.
instructor. And what he does, actually, I'll tell you, he first became a blogging expert years ago, and then he got into podcasting. His call name or his nickname is the Dean of Blogonomics and the Professor of Podology.
Yeah, but after looking at a video, I think he's the Rap Master Mountain
Man.
Man.
Yeah, Grandmaster MC Pat On. So he took his last name and
Patton
instead of
capital
Patton,
O.
it's Pat On. Now he got me into podcasting years ago when I had the Natural Health Company, and I was a member of First Canadian Bard Exchange, and I got an email from him.
Did a seminar.
Yeah, and it was promoting a seminar, and it's all about this podcasting thing.
How long was the seminar?
It was 2 days. 2 full,
well, like
10-hour days.
8
to 10-hour days.
Whoa, well, that's a
with
full
some
day,
breaks,
man.
With some breaks in between.
Oh, so they didn't shackle you to the
But it
computer.
wasn't just podcasting. We'll get into that in a second. But I went to his website, which was podcastingbootcamp.com or something like that.
Yeah.
And then so it's this blank page, and then he just walks out on the screen and says, "Hey, podcast," and starts talking about podcasting, and he starts explaining it and how it's the next thing and then all this kind of stuff.
Did he have a white background? Was it a white background?
Yeah.
That's so passé.
And anyways.
But back then it was cool.
It was like TELUS.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
The TELUS effect.
Now, for all you people around the world, TELUS, it's a local telephone company, and they have this very minimalist brand. Very, very cool stuff with animals and stuff. And if you go, don't you have all the ads on one of your blogs?
At mobiletechweekly.com, yeah, I have all the TELUS ads on there.
Very cool. Check out those ads. They are world-class. Awesome, awesome ads. But back to the Grandmaster.
So the Grandmaster MC Pat On, and I went to his seminar. I went to his weekend podcasting boot camp, and it was all about basically what we talked about earlier on episode 3 with Podcasting 101.
Yeah.
Except his whole focus is guerrilla podcasting, spelled G-U-E-R. Never mind.
They're taking the piss out of me because
that was from last week.
If you go to my Facebook account, and if you haven't friended me, go to Facebook, put Bob Garlick, Garlick. That's me, the guy with the hands on his head. That's my branded image, and you friend me, and yeah, I'm totally dyslexic, so I did some comment about guerrilla marketing, and I did like gorilla, like the monkey, the big monkey that eats bananas, and I got totally panned. But got totally pawned on that comment. But I've done my Bobby digress. Back to Andrew.
But you just said whatever you say, I'm rubber and you're glue, and whatever you say bounces off of me and sticks to you. I saw you write that.
What? No,
you deleted it after, but you did write it. Anyways, so I went to this seminar, two day weekend kind of retreat out in Pitt Meadows. So we were out there, and it was more than just podcasting, but he started the morning talking about how to get a podcast started with just Skype for interviews if you have a co-host, and using PowerGramo, which is free software that you can record Skype conversations with good quality, and how to use Audacity and everything. So it was really cool.
No. Okay.
Then later he has all these other people on there. And
now, when you say other people, what do you mean?
Well, he had Frank Souza from the
physically there.
Frank Souza from Traffic Geyser,
in chains.
The creator of Traffic Geyser, which is
that's huge.
Yeah, awesome.
How the hell did he get him there?
Well, he's been the dean of Blogonomics and the
I don't know. I
professor
think he
of
kidnapped
Podology.
him and brainwashed him, man.
He may
It's
have.
like,
I think he does have Jedi mind tricks.
Oh, okay.
Anyways.
So now hang on. Before we get into a little bit more detail, you come to like what is it, a hotel or something? Is it like a lobby? Is it like a bunch of chairs?
It was at a
Everybody's
hotel.
sitting
Yeah, it was at the
within
Best Western. It was at the
cushions, or
Best Western, and
they're like chairs.
it wasn't
everybody
like
had a laptop.
it
or what?
wasn't like an Afghanistan restaurant where you sit on the cushions. and
Oh,
everything.
too bad,
Nothing
man.
like
Because they
that.
are like Bubba Ganoush,
No.
and then you get like podcasting with.
It
Bubba
wasn't
Ganoush,
anything
nice
like that.
combo.
We were sitting in chairs, and we had our laptops, and we were the
How did
whole.
he handle bandwidth? Because I was about to do something like that, and I got like totally taken down. It's like, oh, it's too
Oh,
much
no,
bandwidth.
He's prepared. He's got everything set up, and you got your wireless network there, and you got your internet access, and you record. The whole goal is to record a podcast and upload it on the internet, and have subscribers by the end of the weekend.
Wow.
And everybody accomplished that.
No,
it was
that-
pretty cool. But then there was so I went to two of these things, and they had
Andrew's a
both
slow
of them.
learner.
Both of them. The next year he invited me back, and he didn't charge me for the second one, which was nice.
Well, he felt sorry for you.
Yeah, that was pretty much it. That was after
Andrew, dude,
well, he
get
was
it together.
well. Basically, I got him into the hyperbaric chambers for free, so he's like, "Hey, come on over for another
Okay, we're going to digress right
For-
here. What the heck is a hyperbaric chamber?
hyperbaric
Because I know
chamber."
what it's all about, but people are like, what? What was that?
I
Is
used
that
to
some
have a
sort of
company. I
podcasting
used to have a
equipment?
natural health company, and we originally started off with this hyperbaric chamber.
Hang on.
Anyways,
Couldn't you do a podcast in a hyperbaric chamber? Would the voice changes
No.
with all that oxygen?
you can't.
Why?
You can't have any electronic device in the hyperbaric chamber.
Damn.
Period. You can only wear
Basically,
cotton. You can
okay.
wear nothing but cotton. Anyways,
Here's a layman's
you asked me.
definition.
Hang
Here's
on.
okay.
Before we go any further, you asked what is a hyperbaric chamber?
Yeah, okay. Here we
A
go.
hyperbaric chamber is breathing 100% pure oxygen
At
at lower than surface atmospheric pressure,
which is,
which is 1.52 to 3 atmospheres.
but that's like
pressure-
being 30, 40 meters down in the ocean?
No, more like being 30 to 60 feet down in the ocean.
It's serious stuff, dude.
Breathing 100% pure oxygen in a controlled environment.
Yeah,
Now,
but what does that do?
what it does, the pressure causes the
Oxygen.
oxygen molecule to be much smaller, and it allows the oxygen to be pushed through your entire body into every tissue, regardless of blood flow.
Totally.
So if you've got burns, if you've got a diabetic leg wound or a non-healing wound,
Yep. Dyslexia.
which
Autism-
would lead
autism.
to needing amputation if you don't get it dealt with.
Right. Yeah. the blood.
The oxygen being pushed through all the tissues heals the wound, and then you're good to go.
Didn't Pavel Bure use one of those back
The
in the
Canucks used to own a hyperbaric chamber.
Yeah.
They had their own hyperbaric chamber.
But you know why? Because they suck so much, and they go so far down
the
in the
reason
ratings,
why
they get the bends.
the reason why that they had a chamber is because sports injuries is one of the 14 approved conditions by the FDA and Health Canada and the governing body for. This is Health Empowerment News, by the way.
Hey, hang on.
This show has become Health Empowerment News.
No,
so
no.
we're going to
I'm
end
just
it
saying,
right now.
There is a podcast about no.
There is a podcast about it, and it was episode something or other of Health Empowerment
So
News.
give us the address
At
because all these people are
foodsarnotdrugs.com.
panting, saying, "I want a hyperbaric chamber."
Wait. I just need to know one more thing.
Yeah.
Can you smoke in that?
No,
chamber?
absolutely not.
But if you smoke before you go in, and then it totally oxygizes it, I'm getting a big okay.
Okay, then.
So somebody's tried that.
Yeah, no, you can't do that either. And
Why not?
If you drink alcohol before you go in the chamber,
So how
the
much it costs to
pressure
buy
is
one?
going to cause you to become even more drunk.
Awesome.
So
spa.
yeah, you don't want to do that.
Let's be honest, but it's kind of it's being like, don't go into a hot tub at like that temperature and drink a bunch of beer because you're basically going to cook your brain.
So basically, back to
Podcasting.
the podcasting and this
social media.
podcasting guru Scott Patton. He got him and some of his colleagues got into the chamber for free. So I guess maybe that's why. And also the Omiro kind of went in the tank, and he knew I wouldn't.
Not the hyperbaric.
the
tank,
company
it's like
financial
financial tank.
The tank went in the tank. Anyways, so I ended up going back again. And do you know who they had on there? One of the guest speakers at the second boot camp that I went to.
Madonna.
It was the lead singer of the Guess Who, the new lead singer of the Guess
No way.
Who.
Hey, do you
It was
know
awesome.
do you know the lead singer for the Guess Who? The new one. No, you don't have to find it. She's gonna go out and Google it. It's okay. That was that.
I got no information on here.
Hey, how
So
many
our
black beers was that?
Our bartenderess just came in and gave us some
Okay, yeah.
beers. I'm using your term now. You've got me
She said we're on
using-
4 black beers. This is beer number 4
for you,
Bob.
For you.
You don't have an Excel
me.
file for the amount of drinks you have?
No, we got a bartenderess, man. That's
okay,
that's
good
her
enough.
job. That's why she gets
There's
big
an app.
tips.
There's an app for that though.
Yeah, exactly.
Calculates your tip and
You know,
everything.
$87 and here's $2 for a tip. Yeah.
All
Anyways,
right.
back to the Hyperbaric Chamber podcast master dude that climbs
So-
up mountains and does rap videos on Facebook.
So he's doing all these videos, and one of them was like Scott Patton lost his mojo, and he was doing a series of videos that came out, and I was like, oh man, this is, and then he did another one where he was in Hawaii because he goes all over the place doing these seminars and stuff like that, and he was in Hawaii and he's on the beach in his Bermuda shorts, and he's like talking about the beach and all this, and it's all about right at the top, it's podcasting tips. He's talking about she's on the beach and all this. I'm like, what does this have to do with podcasting?
Sounds
The
like our
very-
show.
At the very, very end, yeah, at the very, very end of the of the whatever it is, 4 or 5 minute YouTube video,
His beach thing.
he says, and as you see the waves coming in and out and from the sea, that's just like how you want your podcast to be as the waves crash on the beach. And it was
Speaking of crashing.
New singer?
What?
The new singer or Britton Cummings?
Yeah, the new singer. Come on. What's going
the
on?
new one.
There's a new singer though?
Yeah,
Yeah,
go
they've
out
got
there.
they got a new one.
We just
Get
did
on those
20 we just
iPhones.
Googled
Get on those iPhones. Figure it out. Sorry.
All right, we got a.
That was great. He went down.
Anyways, it was like the ebb and flow of just like you want your podcast, right? And he tied it in. It was great, and you know, okay, that was
Tied
awesome.
it in. Come on. He just did that to get a tax write-off.
So now he's got this video, which I will.
She's
right,
coming back. What? What?
October 9th is the article. Britton Cummings? Yeah, no?
No,
Brian
no,
Cummings.
no,
Is that yay?
You're in Vegas, lady. What was
no, it's not him. I can't remember his name, but he
what
was
was
there.
the original question?
The new lead singer of
Yeah, I'm, Checking out of this one.
the Guess Who.
Guess who? Come on. It's easy. Google. Guess who need new singer. Get somebody to iPhone that in the bar.
Don't worry about it.
No, you can come by. This is okay. We're a couple of
All
hard
right.
things. She just like pumps right in. She's
So
she's
back-
on a mission because she has nothing to do. I mean, if you
There's
come
a
to
lot-
the
there's-
bunker, basically
one
There's
customer.
like 2 or 3 people there. In fact, earlier on, like last show, I went into the bar saying, "Hey, what's happening?" And there was no bartender, and there was a couple of locals. And what happened to the bartender? Oh, we just went for a smoke. So I came back. She's still not there. It's a casual bar. Welcome to Vancouver. You know, don't worry about
in the
it.
historic Barclay Hotel.
Anyways, what's with this the Grandmaster podcast, Mike?
So he's got this new
the video, yeah, that's
where
a-
he's he's in his 50s and he's
and he climbs mountains.
and he's doing
oh,
this.
look, she's bought her
Oh,
laptop.
Okay.
She's-
Yeah, here you are.
Now this is
You
our
know,
sexy bartender from last week, and man, she is awesome. The way she's like,
You know we
bending
got
over,
one of these
producing
here.
No, please, bend over and show me.
It says that the page was last modified on October 9th.
All right, yeah.
Burton Cummings.
Burton Cummings, Wikipedia, the free encyclopedia.
Anyways.
Is that a free encyclopedia? Wikipedia? I never knew that.
Everything.
It's amazing. So who is the new lead singer for the Guess Who? There's a link. Just what's the next one down on Google?
Well, the next one's the next one's still Wikipedia. It's the same sort of things. All I see is Burton Cummings. That's all I got.
All right. Well,
So,
we'll figure it out
somebody
later.
has some serious search engine optimization happening for Burton Cummings. So it just shows.
Nice.
Oh, and I'm just gonna jump right in here because my new. Thank you, dear. It was
welcome.
almost as good as a black beer, maybe a half a black beer.
A half black beer.
Yeah, it's good it's good for about a half a black. All I gotta say is, I was listening to This Week in Tech, Twit, which is. Do you guys ever listen to that podcast?
Every week.
Yes.
Friggin' awesome. And they said, and I've got another quote here. He said that what's happening with search engine optimization is it's making Google a spam engine. Isn't that awesome? Because really everybody is basically gaming it.
Everybody's
It's like,
trying to, but
well, is Joe Gibson's gym on Robson Street, we're going to pump it up, and he throws $5, $10, $15, $20, $30,000 in SEO, man, he's going to top. And like 7
No.
pages back, the guy that you really want to be doing is like, Frankie's Let's Mellow Out and relax and do some cool pumping.
Not
It
necessarily.
doesn't happen.
Not necessarily.
Not
because,
necessarily.
because the good content
have
usually
some
rises.
For the long run, yeah.
Yeah, in the long run, the
Yeah.
good content rises to the top.
So what's the difference between long and short run? A month, a week, a year.
Months, at least months.
Right. So, you can still game the show. You can game the show, and Google is
There's
the
black hat. There's black hat techniques, and they
Yeah, but
and
also
they can
for
work.
the long run, the black hat
No,
won't pan out.
no, won't because
mean-
you'll be blacklisted.
and-
The basics is always good content and good connections or links.
Good links,
That's always
Oh.
the two of them.
Yeah.
Just that for the long run. I mean,
quality links,
And
from,
having a
from,
podcast.
from related content.
which
If
is
you don't have a
content.
podcast, hey, let's face it, you're gonna suck on Google. But I'm a little biased.
Well, that's a whole nother.
No, it's not only that. I mean, Google itself is changing its logarithms to
Daily.
recognize good content and good links beyond anything other than that.
Yeah. I mean, okay, just to totally digress here, thinking about the artificial intelligence of games, like what's that huge game with orcs and stuff like that? I'm reading about. Thank you, Warcraft. The artificial intelligence of Warcraft, people, it's like they're complaining about it. Oh, the artificial intelligence is not that great and blah blah blah. I can game it out. Just think what Google's doing. The intelligence and the math and the crazy physics dudes that have the weird heads and stuff doing their thing in the purple room. I mean, I've heard about this stuff. These guys are nuts. Those are the type of algorithms that Google is bringing to bear, and still it's getting gamed. Whoa.
Yeah, but
Hardcore.
that will always remain the
People are
remain
trying-
like that.
people
it
are
was
trying to
always
game
like
the
that
system.
in the past, and it will always remain in the future. I mean, when we from the industry, we remember just 10 years ago, you just had to push as many links, doesn't matter for what,
Yeah.
inside your website, and that's it.
Or there
you
were
were
peop-
on top.
There were also
Simple
people.
as that.
There were also people loading keywords with white,
exactly,
white on
exactly.
white, right?
Like
And
3,000 times your website name or whatever.
yeah, all in white text on a white background.
Yeah,
and
You can still see that if you go to Render Coder and look for like people that are trying to get some SEO optimization. They're like, I'm looking for somebody to do 3,000 words of whatever the top searches are on Google right now.
It's
And
true.
They'll pay you $100.
But you know what? It doesn't work because if people go there and you don't have the right content, it's like, sorry.
yeah, but
you're-
also even beyond that, that kind of thing is easily detectable now by the Google,
But the logarithm.
by the algorithm and the Google bots. No, it
I wish
doesn't
there was
work.
like a dislike button where you could just hit it and it would just, if the website was crappy or whatever, it would just like, snap.
well, that's what
type it out
dig.com's all about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really,
Voting system.
or Dig Nation. But
But it's
on top
also
of all that-
it's also kind of like because you can game it that way too, like for instance AdWords, if you are competing with somebody for a certain keyword, you could just go and you're pay per click, right? So you just get everybody to go hit their
okay.
attack their links, and then but they've figured that one out too.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Andrew, okay, what you're saying is you have to have a big community to execute that. And that is why Facebook is so powerful now. And all the techie guys are saying, like, Facebook is poised to become the new Google. And Google is freaked out. I mean, they don't say that stuff, but really,
Well, that's why they're
Facebook has the opportunity
one
to
priority
basically
is-
dethrone them because everybody's into, hey, my friends, I've got 1,000 friends or 2,000 friends or 50 friends or whatever it is, tell me what I should be going. And then all the 50 friends say, oh, I've been, surfing that because I'm into this particular like microphone because we're into podcasting now, and check out this Shure microphone. And 3 of their friends talk about it. Boom, they're there. They check it out. They buy it. Google, they're not even involved.
well
anymore.
that's
There's
why
too
Google
much
Google
stuff.
It's
Google
not that simple.
Google is getting into their number one priority right now is it's called Google Me,
Yeah.
which is a Facebook killer according to Google,
Well, apparently.
and
But
we'll
you got
see.
500 million people. It's just like
You know,
hard to kill
I'm
500
like
million people.
I'm well, if anyone could do it, presumably Google could,
Mm-hmm.
but their last 2 major projects have flopped.
Yeah,
right?
you know why? Because Google does not have the human interface. It's an engineered different company. And it's not that I'm biased about engineered different company, but the last engineered different company I was with, bunch of idiots.
Yeah, the
And
technocrats
really,
are taking
you know,
over.
they're really, really good at code and stuff like that,
Yeah.
but they have no idea about reality. And Facebook is reality, and they have no idea about social ethics. Maybe he's like, oh, we're just going to abuse our 500 million people. And the thing is, like, the 500 million people, it's a group mentality, and the group mentality is really, really low on intelligence. It's mob mentality. And really, Facebook is a mob mentality zone. It's like, blah, do this, blah, blah, blah. And a bunch of people get involved, and suddenly it goes crazy. It's mob reality. So you're talking maybe a 2, 3, 4-year-old mentality compared to intellectual. Google is like, let's research, let's figure it out on like a university or high school level. That's all I got to say. As the
It'll be interesting to see
is
what happens.
quiet. Hey, so we digress to a point where nobody really gives an S.
No, somebody
And-
he's twittering right now or something. Anyways,
I'm about to get Googled to death.
so
Ooh, Google right in the heart. Ooh, nasty.
That's why I created my own word when I made my web page, because I figured that.
What's your word? What do you mean we created a word?
Well,
What's that?
I put in, instead of a G, I put a J in for the word magic, right?
Oh,
so
nice,
That
yep.
automatically bumps me up. So now when people search out magic, they don't actually get, do you mean magic? I still get the G instead.
Google
But
does the
as soon-
algorithm
as
for
soon
it.
as I reach that level, I'm sure that I'll start asking people looking for magic, do you mean magic?
It's
so-
true. It's
so I
true.
mean,
and
yeah.
people like me that can't spell, boom, they end up at your
It's
place.
perfect. I love having people like, that can't
Dyslexic
spell.
Bobs.
Yeah.
Because they're big buyers.
Well-
No, it's true. Because I did the thing with Speed Hikers. I've got a website called
Oh, yeah, that's a cool site.
speedhikers.com. And I'm a big hiker, just like the Grandmaster MC Pat On. And, run up the mountains and do stuff and crazy.
yeah, but I've
geocaching
never
and stuff.
I've seen your videos. I guess you're never in them though. You're recording them.
No, I'm recording. And
But
like if you go to speedhikers.com, it is friggin' killer. You go there, and I get emails from people saying, I will never hike with you, Bob, because you're insane.
They
So,
run up the mountain and down the mountain.
No, we hike out the mountains, we run down.
All right.
I had like what was like a 23-minute video running down Black Mountain. If anybody knows Black Mountain, no way, you guys like drinking some serious black beer. Anyways, go ahead.
Anyway, speedhikers.com. Great website.
Should spell it with a Z though.
Crazy stuff.
No, you don't have to. Really, if you Google speedhikers.com, our only competition is the New York Times and what's that big magazine that is all about like.
Yeah, but you know what? I've never seen you in all of your videos. I've never seen you do a Grandmaster MC pat-on rap routine. Ever.
Because we're exhausted. Are you kidding? We were running a mountain and come back down in 7 hours. We don't have time to dance around on some rocks. I mean, that's a serious hike. And this guy is like driving up in a car, prancing around on some nice
Actually, I think
view.
maybe he takes the helicopter up and
Yeah, I would think so. I mean, because there's no way. I mean, I'm dancing because my muscles don't work and my legs are about to collapse. I mean, that's
Yeah.
why I look like.
you guys are hardcore.
Oh, big time. But anyway, National Geographic, that was the other guy. So basically, we're in competition with the New York Times and National Geographic.
Nice.
Nice neighbors. Really nice neighbors. Except we dominate the page. Right? So we own 4 and they have 2. And it's still that way because there was an article in National Geographic about speed hiking and extreme hiking, going there, and the New York Times was about people running around and really pushing themselves in the downtown park. What's that park in New York called?
Central
Park. Yeah.
Same one as in Burnaby.
I tell you what, because of the internet, Central Park isn't cool anymore. That's all I got to say.
All right.
What? What happened
What
there?
was the first subject we started to talk about?
We're talking about Grandmaster MC Pat On. He's a podcaster.
Hey, he did
He's-
a video. How do people get to this video without having a Facebook account with the guy?
What they do
So
is
we
they
can
go to
get rid of this.
they go to the show
horrible
notes.
Content.
They go to the
They're
show
like,
notes
Who
of
cares?
the show. It'll be at podcasthero.com in the category Bunker Project.
or if they go to
Our Facebook page will repost it on the Bunker Project.
yeah. But if they don't like us, they could go to YouTube, couldn't they?
Yeah, but if they want to see it, they can they don't even have to like us. They
Just
just
see a
have to go to
pattern here, it's like-
facebook.com/.
Or you can
The
send them
Bunker
to the end
Project.
to the end of the internet, one of the websites. You know,
Hey,
you
know,
remember that?
The end of the internet.
Yeah, you remember those?
The internet is flat. There's predefined edges.
I know. I've seen the subway map, and it's nothing to do with average on that subway map, man. I could get off on this station, get off on that station, and there's no edges. There's some great eating, there's some falafel stands, but that's about it. What? There's all this blank hair after I make some statement that's ridiculous. It's the black beard talking.
You sounded like Adam Sandler there.
Thank you very much.
All right.
So, hey, what's our next subject? Oh, hey, hang on. I got a next subject here.
Yeah, quotes.
You know, I'm a big This Week in Tech, which is Leo Laporte, which is, you know, he's one of the guys. I mean, the guy makes $2-3 million a year doing podcasting. Of course, he spends $1 million for his studio. We were talking a couple episodes back. Like, what's the most? And I said, quote, oh, there's this guy that spent $40,000. Leo takes him out at the knees, actually at the ankles at $1 million. Leo is an old.
Broadcaster.
He's a broadcaster guy, and he's doing it the right way. He's a limiters and all this stuff. And I've seen some of his YouTube videos, which is the segue.
He's
That's
my
the
hero,
reason.
by the way.
Is it? Do you like Leo?
Oh, me and
Isn't he
Leo
awesome?
From the screensavers back, like, you know,
Oh yeah.
6 or 7 years ago. It's awesome.
Right, but I mean, he is.
Screensavers
I mean, he has a network. If you go to iTunes and you go Leo Laporte, and you see it, but then you say he's got his kind of like his branded look to his icon. Man, he is all of these like 40, 50 shows. It's out of control. The guy is awesome. So he is like dominating the podcast.
He's got This Week in Tech, This
He's
Week
the-
in Law, This Week in Google.
I mean, his own platform, but what do you expect from a person who has been a technological journalist for more than 40 years?
I know,
Yeah.
but you know
And
where
40 years,
Leo's,
I mean, respect. you
Yeah.
but
know?
Leo
Exactly.
is failing.
How?
Leo is failing. Leo,
How is he failing?
Listen to this. This is Bob talking from Vancouver at the Bunker Bar. Leo, his whole thing, and he gets taken down by a couple of the podcasters. He's like, oh, yeah, podcasting's dead. We're doing this live streaming. And like, we've got 5,000 people that watch us live streaming. It's
Okay.
amazing. And I've seen some
Yeah.
YouTube stuff.
No, I know,
of
yeah.
his, you know, what, those bouncy balls? And it fails. He goes down. He's got like all these.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, but how many people listen on the podcast on audio?
The majority.
Yeah, the majority. But what's the majority? 500,000, 250,000, 350,000.
No, hang on. When he did that speech, and he said that podcasting was dead, he didn't mean that podcasting is dead. He meant the growth, the exponential growth of podcasting is over. And he said that we're not going to see the same numbers as we saw before. So, but
Oh,
he
the
did,
growth numbers,
but
okay.
he did title the speech "Podcasting is Dead" because I think mainly because he just wanted the buzz and the
Oh, totally.
the controversy.
So here is
And he
my
got it
quote
because
from
people like Cliff Ravenscraft were all over it. People like all the other
yeah,
podcasters.
He got
were-
huge. He knows how to play the game. He's
That's-
pawning them.
No, that's a good question because we all know that video is becoming much more accessible, much easier, much cheaper, and everything. But the question is, from the listener point of view, and let's take me for example, I still, when I have the choices between video and audio, I still prefer most of the time pure audio. Just to listen, not to see.
And there's a few reasons
but to
for that.
listen, I mean, I can walk while listening. I can walk
exactly.
out while listening.
Do the dishes.
Video, do
Drive your car,
everything.
Have
commuting.
sex.
I mean,
honey, oh, it's great. Oh, hang on,
concentrate
Leo's
much
talking.
better.
Oh yeah. Okay.
I can't have an orgasm because Leo is about to make a point.
Yeah.
Okay, it's over. Okay, let's go.
What are you looking at, honey?
No, you're right. And that is,
Hang on, jump on that mic. You hang on. No, you no, you got to
wait,
go
wait.
over there and talk on the mic. Talk on the mic. Sorry, we're training our guests to come and talk on the mic. Okay.
yeah, and I listen to podcasts just before going to sleep, and it just gives me a beautiful sleep.
And
Wow.
this is
Who do you listen to? Who do you listen to? Here we were. The whole
well.
room
She
is pointing
listens
to the mic.
to the Bunker Project, of course.
Yeah. Falling asleep to Bob and Andrew. Like to
Yeah,
going.
of course, I listen to the Bunker Project. Bob and Andrew.
All right.
As everybody breaks up coughing, the two guys.
Speaking
I go,
of,
hang on.
Speaking of the Bunker
I need
Project,
another.
hey,
I need a shot of tequila after
Speaking-
that
No, I mean
comment.
for you two.
Dabble, dabble.
Do you? I mean, if you have the choice between video and audio,
Audio.
Video.
Audio.
video,
Video.
really?
Dude, I'm part of the NTV generation.
Do you drive?
Hey,
No, but
You're
Yeah,
not
but
no,
part
hey,
of
drive.
the NTV generation
But-
because I am.
We're both part of it.
No, no.
It's okay.
let's
I've been there before you.
Okay, the
When it
Nintendo
started-
generation then.
No, but still, I mean, for your use, for your main use,
Yeah.
isn't it easier to listen to something and do something else instead of listening and watching? I mean, it's
Depends
much
on
more
what-
productive.
Depends on what I'm doing. I mean, I found out about a hack the other day that you can actually put a video as your desktop. So if
Yeah.
you have a really boring job at work, you actually have a video from YouTube or whatever you want, like a movie, playing in your background as your desktop.
Yeah.
So you can still have all your windows open and stuff like that.
But with the great audio.
yeah,
The
yeah,
audio
but
as
okay.
well, so-
But if it's got
The
lousy
point is the-
audio, it doesn't work, right?
The-
So really, the
If I'm at home,
fundamentals,
it's
you've
gotta
got to
be
have
video,
the
but-
information is coming through
No,
the
but
audio, unless it's tutorial and it's showing a screen.
but
and
a good video podcast, because we're almost talking like podcasting is not video. It is. It can be video or audio. But what Leo was talking about was not video podcasting or audio podcasting. He was talking about live shows. That's where he saw the
Yeah,
future.
basically what we
No,
got that little
but
camera
that
up there
doesn't
for.
make sense
Which we
because
never
the whole
get to use.
point of the internet is getting something when you want it. Who cares about real
Yeah,
time?
Live.
it would still be
That's
Who
podcasted.
cares
why he
about
has-
it?
that-
That's
that's-
the whole point of
No,
the
but
internet.
that's
Why
why
I don't
his-
watch TV.
I agree.
No?
I agree with you, and 100%. And I still think audio is more accessible to people because of all the reasons you said. Working out, you're in the gym, you can put your headphones on, you can listen to a podcast. In your commute, most people drive 30
Yeah.
to 40 minutes a day,
Oh, before you go to
Perfect
sleep,
time.
which I also do. I mean,
right? And although some people do watch video podcasts while they drive, I don't.
Hey, or take a bus.
yeah.
Use my iPod Touch. I'll download some podcasts and
Yeah.
watch them on.
No, but the thing is, are you
Bert-
watching a real, like, true video podcast, or are you watching This Week in Tech, which is
recorded.
really, no, but it's really an audio podcast with two talking heads.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we could create a video podcast, Bob and I here talking on the Bunker Project, and have the camera
But
there,
it's the audio. That's the
And-
content.
and it's just two talking heads. That's not really a video podcast.
Okay.
That's an audio podcast where you can see the person talking and doesn't.
there's
it's
nothing
not the-
visually interesting
Yeah,
in it,
the
right?
visual
There's no explosion
is
or naked
not-
women.
It's
Simple as
not
that.
adding anything to the
news is
content.
Naked women. Hang on. Bob's got to cut right in
Trust
here.
me.
Naked women.
Who said
Bob,
that?
Bob, and my face talking is not adding anything to the content.
But if we had a naked
if we're doing
woman-
a screencast,
And
or if you're doing a screencast, or if we're doing anything that you need a visual aid, then I agree.
We do have the sexy bartenderesses with the black beer. That's pretty good. You know, the black, and then we have the sexy girls. All right. Hey, so I wanted to say, I forgot. So that all started with me saying Leo Laporte. So quite an interlude.
Small tangent.
A small tangent, but the guy, he talks a lot. I definitely, so go to This Week in Tech.
And like you said
Twit,
last time,
it's
he can
awesome.
he can massage the show for as long as he wants, and a topic he's great.
Because I'm not
And,
going to get edited.
Were there any quotes that you wanted to mention?
Yeah, well, that's the whole thing. Leo Laporte, this is my favorite quote. They're talking about new technology and iPads and stuff, and he said, it's just a bunch of shiny crap. Isn't that awesome? Because that's all it is. It's like the iPhone, but it's bigger, and everybody's forgot. They've sold 10 million iPads, and Leo says, "Oh yeah, I got into it. I did a bunch of stuff, but really, what I use is what's that crow game that everybody's talking about?
Angry Birds.
Angry Birds. I just
Yeah,
play Angry Birds on
finished
the
it.
thing when I'm not busy. When I'm not busy, see that." Parenthesis, when I'm not busy, the iPad is a great device. So maybe not a great thing if you're an entrepreneur and actually have to make money because you're playing
No,
around
I
with your
disagree.
iPad.
Definitely not. I mean,
Oh, here it
from my
comes.
perspective, I mean, it's a great tool for anyone who doesn't need to program or to work online. It's just to get your content.
Exactly.
It's a great. It's a great device. But
It's a
other than that,
it's a consumption
forget
device.
it.
It's
Forget
a
it.
it's a consumption device.
Yeah.
It's-
I
but
mean, for people
it's not even
who
good
have
at
no
that.
knowledge
No, it is
of
good at that.
computers or the internet.
It's-
Let's say, for example,
It hurts your eyes
for
if you
my
read.
mother, I would give her
Oh, it's not a good
something
reader.
like that.
No,
not a good
no,
reader.
I would not give my mother. I would give my mother a Kindle.
Yes, for reading.
Because moms can get into Kindle because it's like easier on the eyes.
For reading, the Kindle is awesome, or the Kobo, or the whatever, the Sony, or whatever one
Because
you
it's
want.
neutral.
But it's the Kindle and the Kobo and the new Barnes and Noble. What's it called? The Barnes and Noble reader.
That's a bookstore for people that don't know what Barnes and Noble is.
But they've just launched a new reader called the I can't remember, but Chapters and Indigo have one called the Kobo.
Yeah.
Amazon has the Kindle.
There's a black Kindle
Barnes
too.
and Noble has a new one, and it's electronic ink, so you can look at it and you can read in the sunlight. You can read and it doesn't hurt your eyes. Whereas the backlit iPad, after an hour of reading, you're going to be tired.
Yeah.
You're going to be really tired.
And your battery will totally run out.
Well,
Exactly.
When he
The
says that's-
Kindle will last 30
weeks and weeks and
a
weeks.
couple weeks.
Okay.
No, like a month. The whole thing is the difference is, and this is coming from a total graphic designer headspace, is the way humans absorb information for the last, several thousand years is refracted light. The light comes from the sun. It bounces off the paper. The eye translates the contrast, if it's blue or red or black and white, and that's how the brain absorbs the little scribbles that are language. What happens with a monitor, if it's the old style monitor or a flat screen monitor or an iPad, it's beam light, and this is RGB, and it's actually pushing the light straight into your retina. It's not reflective. So the brain has to translate that, because we as humans don't evolve that fast. Technology is evolving way faster than the biological process that we're used to absorbing it. So the next two or three generations, they will be able to absorb information on the screen, right? Like the 5-year-olds and the 6-year-olds today will be able to read off the screen.
No.
Where they will have trouble
No.
is a book.
It doesn't work that way.
You actually need to learn how to spell before any of that stuff.
Natural
no.
selection, natural. If you're talking about natural selection, it doesn't work that way. Anyways, you don't.
what
we
happens
don't
if you go
just
to kindergarten?
evolve.
But your brain
Organisms
your-
don't evolve like that.
No, your brain gets programmed into processing that type of stuff. And look,
No,
and I'm
but
an
that's
old
not
guy,
fast, not
and my
that
brain is
fast.
not programmed for that.
As you said,
You have to be naturally selected out, and
Yeah,
it has to
exactly.
happen before
I have
procreation.
a hard time with books.
In order for, anyways, doesn't
You know,
matter.
my glasses.
The point is that
Oh, yeah,
the,
what-
the
did we
point
have
is
a
is that
point?
that the iPad is awesome for consumption. Now, if
Yeah.
you're only getting it to read as an e-reader, it's a bad choice. I agree, 100%. Get a Kindle, electronic ink, just like everything you said. But if you're going to use it for an entertainment device, for games, if you're going to read magazines, it's great for magazines.
Awesome.
You get it in full color. The Kindle, you're not going to get. You're going to. It's for newspapers, sure, but for
Wired
reading
was the first guy.
magazines, the iPad or the Galaxy Pad or whatever.
Oh, okay. I have
is
to.
great.
I've got to jump in here.
And the Playbook, just coming out, the
Okay.
BlackBerry Playbook.
But
all
why
these-
not wait one more year's time when we'll have many more options of buying stuff like that?
You're just saying that
different
because
Half
Wix.com
the
is coming
price.
out with a reader.
No, no.
I mean, what's the rush?
What about
guys.
the $35 tablet?
No, you know why?
Yeah, it's like the $10. No,
You know
no,
what?
guys, you don't get
Hang
it.
on. I
No,
want to
no,
answer.
no,
I want to
you-
answer his question.
All right.
The reason why you don't wait until next year is because if you wait till next year, then
You
you'll
never
say,
buy
"Well,
it.
why not wait till the next year? Because it's going to be better again." It's always going to be better.
No,
Get your Kindle now. Get your iPad now.
Yeah.
no.
Actually, I wouldn't get the iPad
Just yet.
just yet.
But-
I would wait until the iPad
I mean,
2,
I'm
So
personally
you
gonna
get the
wait.
camera in it and stuff?
Yeah.
yeah,
the
next year.
iPad 2,
Next year, anyway.
or-
Still awesome.
or
Third
go
or
with-
fourth generation, and then I'll see if it
No.
proved himself.
Second
Yeah.
Not before
generation
that.
will be awesome. Fourth generation? Are you kidding? I mean, it'll do the Windows. But the thing is, really,
the Windows.
and as in not in
do the
Microsoft Windows, but your
Oh, man, that'd be
Windows.
funny.
No, the thing is, I actually do the dishes because guys, there's a lot of guys in here, and God, if the iPad could do my dishes, I'd buy one right away. No, the thing is that the magazines haven't caught up with, and there's only 2 publishers in the world that have done iPad magazines.
No.
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
They went the up way. Many of
Wired
them went
magazine
the up
did
way.
it.
No. There's a company called you put me on the spot now, but
Hey.
News Press, I think it is. and they have most of the newspapers from around the world and a ton of magazines. It goes through their system and it comes out on the iPad.
Yeah,
or the
as a
Galaxy
newspaper.
Pad.
No.
No, it
That's
is
the point. That's
it-
the problem. No. What I'm talking as a totally iPad integrated. If you, the Wired magazine did this like 8 months ago. You go there and it's a magazine, and you're flipping through, and it's like, oh, that's an interesting ad on a car, and you click on it. It's like suddenly it turns into a video, and the car takes off, and you got just totally interactive stuff, and then
Time
there's
Magazine's been trying that.
yeah, exactly, and then you went to there was this men's fashion magazine, some fashion related magazine. I can't remember right now. They just put out one, and you go.
Hey,
And you do the fashion spreads. You know, in Vogue magazine, there's like, oh, here's a 20-page spread on all these different stuff. It's a 1-page spread. And you click, and the picture changes. That is an iPad magazine. And that is where all the magazines and newspapers are failing because they haven't caught up with the technology. Because of the old school dudes that are like, duh, 60, 70, 1980,
Hey, whatever
1990,
happened
they
to that?
can't catch up.
Whatever happened to that company that I thought it was Break Cove or something like that, where you could watch a video and you could click components of the video as it happened, and say somebody's talking on their iPhone. You click on the iPhone and it brings you to all the information about the iPhone and how you can order it and all that kind of
Yeah,
stuff.
the
right?
editorial content.
Actually, and maybe it was Break Cove.
But all I'm saying is there's only been 2, and that's why they got so much press. There's only been 2 versions of a real iPad magazine, and that is what if you go to my blog, not to promote my blog or anything, but disclosure here, which is what we're going to talk about next, is I have a blog called garlicdesign.com, and all we talk about is cool new things. If you go there, if you put in what would you do in a search and put in magazine or iPad or whatever, there's this wonderful video. And it's basically, obviously it's faked out, but it just introduces this wonderful magazine on an iPad and these 2 people in an office experiencing it. And think about like 20 years ago, it's like, oh, this is great fashion spread and you're turning pages and look at that and isn't that a wonderful thing? And, ooh, that's cool, and check out this really cool ad. That's happening, except people are interfacing it in a different way. It's this flat screen, and they're flipping through, and they understand how the magazine works, and they're basically a curator of the magazine through the iPad interface. And that is what it's all about. Becoming curators of the new technology so you can introduce your friends, and your friends think you're cool, and like, you get free black beer. There's the motivation, guys.
So it's so that's all coming. So that's not platform dependent or anything like that. That's
No, it's just about like how to get free black beer.
And naked women. Don't forget the naked women.
Well, I don't know if you're into pornography, and that's the other thing. Leo Laporte, he says, the iPad's really good for pornography, and everyone went, oh, let's not get that way, and da-da-da-da-da. But really, it's true. I mean, there's 3 ways to make money on the internet, and one of them is pornography. And that's all I gotta say, man. You can figure out the other 2.
I mean, yeah, it's sad because the kids get it.
Well, I don't know. I mean, that's why that we talked about what you can and cannot say on the internet and what you can and cannot show on the internet. Basically, after 9:30 at night, it's been cut off because of TV, but the CRTC and all these other groups that were originally developed or invented or brought into to existence to control and to make it safe for children and stuff, that's all out there. Are you kidding?
It's called good parenting, though. Monitoring what your kids are looking at on the internet.
yeah.
Yeah,
and-
but how can you monitor what they're looking at on the iPhone? And there's a couple of schools that are using BlackBerries and iPhones as part of their curriculum to try it and to get students to understand it's not a game thing, it's a knowledge device. And I think that's where a lot of the technology is failing, and I'm really pissed off with the guys like, Apple and those guys, and saying, hey, originally Apple, their whole premise, and Steve, if you're listening, this is to you, dude, get it together, because you introduce whole new technologies based on children and families learning. That was the original Mac platform.
Isn't there? I'm sure someone's developed an app for parental controls.
Oh, there's
on an
nanny
iPhone.
stuff and stuff like
Actually,
that.
yeah,
But really,
that'd be something.
why isn't Apple saying, hey, you've got the iPad, and by the way, here's an advice or a podcast or a video or YouTube series on as a parent to deal with the new technology, and if your child has it or your
Because I guess they figure it's not their job; it's the parents' job.
no, come on. I mean, the whole thing is they're introducing this technology. It's not about your kids having the technology; it's your kids' friends that have
Yeah,
parents that
okay.
are just so clued out, and they're exposed to
So
stuff.
so it's Apple's job to regulate the
No,
stupidity out of
it's-
out of
it's to
existence.
educate, not regulate, but educate, and that's what's happening right now.
Hey,
on social
I'm
media.
not.
Actually
I'm
already
not.
Did that though? They already regulated the App Store. That was anything that was 18 plus got taken off. I mean, there was a point
It's true.
there where you couldn't even have a person in a figure skating outfit in a picture that people were downloading. You know, like
It's
you
extreme.
couldn't have shorts
Apple
on,
is
and
extreme.
all those apps got pulled. They're now they're going to be putting in their own section supposedly
Yeah.
to do that. That's
Yeah,
Well,
the
that's a
double
good,
X instead of
I
triple
know.
X.
It's a good segue into the next section of the show, which is
Which
actually
is?
it came from a question from our good friend out in Australia down under there, Craig Griffiths.
Greg, this is for your daughter.
And here's his question. He said, yes, his daughter is finding it very amusing that
We don't even know how
He's
old
a-
she
he's a-
is.
he's a
It's kind of
cel-
weird. I have a daughter, but she has no age.
well, maybe you can go visit in
Well,
Take a
here's the
vacation
whole
to-
concern. Like in this room, how many guys have a daughter here? All right, so I'm the guy with the daughter, and when my daughter was like 1 year old, 6 years old, 8 years old, 12 years old, it's still the same person, and that's I think it's a thing. And when she's 16 or 18, I'll just be biting my nails more. But really, your daughter is your daughter, and she has no age. She is like this woman that you got to deal with on a daughter level, really hardcore. Trust me. And then the wife gets involved and makes it even more extreme. But anyways, we won't even get into that. So my question is, for dads, they just want to be accepted as cool. It's like, I don't do the dishes, or I do the dishes enough, and sometimes I help mom with the
So
laundry.
what you're saying
Am I
is
cool or not?
what you're saying is you want Craig Griffiths to start a podcast.
How
and
to
then
be cool as a
play
dad.
it so that he mentions you, so your daughter hears, and then it's all.
No,
all
well, the
good.
problem is I got all the technology and stuff, and you know why kids say, "Oh, nice new toys, Dad," and that's my fault, because I've introduced them to all new technology. Oh, that's a daddy toy. When they were like 2 or 3 years old, and we saw big diggers and construction equipment, say, "Oh, check out the daddy toys," because
But you're
really,
starting a new
that's
podcast.
what dads think.
You're starting
It's
a new
like,
podcast with her in the summer, right? You
If you
mentioned
can get a
before.
backhoe as a guy. Geez, I get one. Come on.
All
Who
right.
wants to dig a big ditch with a backhoe?
So
I just want a big machine.
Just
basically.
once. Just yeah, exactly. The bigger the machine. And it's not to do with size and anything. It's just guys love big machines to
course.
do stuff.
Which start destroying capabilities. The simple one.
Exactly.
So-
well, you can get up to that level.
So Craig actually tried to call us at our voicemail feedback
Oh
line.
yeah, major fail. Wah wah
At
wah.
at 1-877-636-1474. That's our voicemail feedback line.
But you
So,
fixed it.
Yes. If you're listening to the podcast and you want to participate in the show and you're not in Vancouver, so you can't come to the meetup, call 1-877-636-1474 and ask your question. We'll bring it into the show. So Craig did that. And what happened was I was playing with the Talk to Me profile. That's what we're using. It's like Google Voice on steroids, kind of basically is what it is. And I was playing with it. I didn't know that I saved the settings, and it created this loop where it kept going back and forth and back and forth. Like he just.
Oh, okay.
No, no,
Here's the translation. You phoned. It said, "Oh, welcome to what's the name of your podcast?
Podca-
Welcome
Podcast
to
Hero.
Podcast Hero. Press 1 for the Bunker Project." And you go to the Bunker Project. Press 1 to leave a message, and then it went back to, "Hi, welcome to Podcast Hero." Press 1. It's like, oh my god.
So
that's the translation. What he said.
thanks to Craig, we've fixed that. It's working now 100%.
Thank you, Greg. You're way cool.
Call 1-877-636-1474 and you can leave a message and we'll bring it into the show.
And
But
all we're
here's-
saying is like nobody's left up as like how many? 10 shows? No
Well, we
messages.
haven't had it. We just published a show since
Okay, I'm
since
doing
then.
it.
So anyways,
I'm doing a I'm doing a shout out. The next person that phones and leaves a question
oh no, he's pulling out the
about
black beer.
social media,
He's pulling out the bunker wine.
I'm going to send you something cool.
All right.
And it might not be liquid.
Ooh.
And that's all I got to say.
All right. So Craig's apologizing that it might be a little bit of a long question, but what he's asking is basically he says the printing press made newspapers possible. It moved information into the hands of the people. The newspaper let people consume information at their own convenience. Podcasts are the same for radio. It is an accessible technology and allows people to consume at their convenience as well. Do you see a time when podcasts will have to be held to the same standards as journalists and radio regarding endorsements? I know we all talk about black beer and you're getting a sponsorship by a beer company. Do you think there needs to be rules around disclosure in podcasts?
Okay, I'm
So,
just going to jump
first
in
of all,
there.
first
Shouldn't
of
he
all,
say
we
beer
don't.
companies?
First of all, we don't have a sponsor. We talk about we talk about black beer as if we're getting paid to talk about black beer. We're not.
But we're not.
We're not at all. Full disclosure,
We're just
we're
lazy.
not
We
getting
just haven't
paid at all.
contacted them.
We are genuinely interested in 100% genuinely interested in black beer.
Well, I mean, I like black beer. You know, it works for me.
And-
Okay, we have some guests that are into red wine. But, you know, I'm not going to beat them up after the show.
Speaking
This
of black
time-
beer, this is going to go off on a tangent, and this time it's me going off on a tangent.
Hang on, that's not our
I
format.
was drinking.
A self-conscious tangent, you mean?
Yes.
Okay.
Totally 100% intentional.
Okay.
I was going last week. Okay, a few weeks ago, I saw an episode of The Dragon's Den, and I'm totally into natural health and all this kind of stuff.
Okay, hang
right?
on. I'm going to jump in here. Dragon's Den is a TV show in Canada. And if
Like
you
the
don't
Shark
watch it,
Tank in the States. It's,
yeah,
it's,
and
it-
you'd have to use what's that thing that we use?
anyways,
for
I
the
was
shows?
I was going to explain that. So they
torrenting.
anyways, so I was watching this episode of The Dragon's Den, and they were pitching this product to get the dragons to invest in, and it was a mosquito repellent, and it was a vitamin B1 patch that you put on your body,
Really?
just like the nicotine patch,
Nice.
and your body absorbs the B1 through your skin, and it repels mosquitoes. But what it also does, according to the manufacturers, is it counteracts the toxicity of alcohol in your blood before it gets to the liver, and therefore prevents a hangover.
No way. I want that one right now.
Okay, so they said they stressed the application as a patch because it gets into your blood a different way than ingesting it orally. So I've been trying to find this, and I went to their website, and they had a few. So I went to Mark's Work Warehouse.
I want it.
They have it. They're supposed to have it there
You went to Mark's
because it's on
warehouse?
it's on their website as a
They sell
distributor.
jeans.
Yeah, but they also have the mosquito repellent apparently, but they don't anymore. Anyways, they don't have it anymore, and so I went to Planet Organic, and I ended up buying vitamin B1 orally. So last week I tested it. Last Friday night or
And
Saturday night, I tested it. I bought some black beer. I was sitting over at my parents' house, and so
how many
Valerie and I-
black beer? Hang on.
I only had a couple black beers, but what I did, I took 100 milligrams of vitamin B1
Okay.
thiamine,
Okay.
and I also had a multivitamin, which also has 50 milligrams of thiamine.
So
So
you did
150
150,
milligrams
okay.
of it's a water soluble vitamin. You can't overdose on it.
Okay.
And
What happened?
I had a couple of beers. And
Yeah.
that was it. And the next day, I had the biggest headache I've ever had in my life. I had a migraine headache, and I never get these.
So it
So,
basically
oops.
aggregated the headache and
I don't
released
know.
it the day after?
I don't know what happened.
Okay. That's it. I'm going to step in here. I'm going to do a 6-pack.
No,
And
no.
I'm going to like 5 of them. And see
So
if I
what
can
we're going to
mess it
do
up. My
next
head may
time?
explode.
Next time, it's my project for next time. I'm
Let
gonna.
him take this.
Hey, taste test it,
By
taste
the
test. Bobby,
next-
taste test. Oh, no, Andrew, you've done me in.
By the next bunker project, I'm gonna procure some of these patches. We're gonna wear them, and then we'll find out on Thursday
Well,
morning.
I think we should do the patches and we should do the oral. And I'm going to do
By the way, I have
massive,
to
I'm gonna
say-
like 10,000 units, like massive amounts. So my head should explode and stuff like because I'm a big believer if 250 milligrams of vitamin C works for me. Let's do 6,000. Yeah. And take that cold to the next level.
vitamin
It's worked
C.
for 10 years.
Vitamin C is another water soluble vitamin. The worst case scenario for vitamin C.
Hey, hang on. Aren't we
is-
digressing to another podcast? It's kind of like,
is Loose Stool.
why did
yeah.
he slip that in?
Health Empowerment News,
No pun
foodsandnetworks.com,
intended.
episode number
Yeah.
5, all about vitamin
Hey.
C. Anyways,
Did you ever watch? Now, hang on, I'm just gonna jump in here, like usual. You ever watch like the cartoons on the comics in the newspaper, and every now and again they'll take the piss out of another cartoon and actually mimic the characters and do something weird? That's what's happening here. So Andrew, let's talk about vitamins and.
back to Craig Griffith's question, because that was an intentional tangent that then went off onto a couple unintentional tangents.
What
So,
was the question anyway?
The question is, I'm not going to repeat the whole question again. The question was, should podcasts be eventually held up to the same standard as journalists? And the answer is they already are.
Yeah, that
The
keyword
regulations
is eventually
are
it's
the
already
same.
happening.
It's already happened in the States. The FTC regulations are the same. If you are making money from an affiliate and you're promoting it in a podcast or on your blog,
You have to.
have to disclose that. And what some people do is they put a blanket statement on, they say disclosure as a tab on their WordPress blog or whatever, and they say FTC regulations require that I blah blah blah.
Yeah,
and
which
then,
is
and then,
so lame.
and then
by
they
the way.
and then they say that if you see a link, any link on my website, assume that it is that I'm going to make money on that, and you see, and then they just do a blanket statement to protect themselves, basically.
Okay.
And that's what a lot of people are doing now.
But okay, to get back to Leo Laporte, if
But
you
full
listen-
disclosure, hang on, full
Oh,
disclosure, we don't make any money from promoting black beer. However, when we do have an affiliate link, we will say, hey, we make money on this, and we appreciate your support.
Absolutely.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
Well, going back to Leo Laporte, if you listen to his show, he has guests and come, and they all know that. So he'll have a guest and go blah 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 blah. Oh, and by the way, full disclosure here, I sit on the board of this organization. I'm saying is a really cool company, and blah 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 blah. And so that's all you have to say. It's not.
Oh yeah,
scrambles.
and on
just have
This
to-
Week in Tech, when they bring up GoToMeeting.com, they clearly say that if you go to GoToMeeting.com/twit, obviously they're going to make money.
It's a link. Exactly. But you know what? That is the new paradigm. And you got to get into that. And really, so I click on a link and I may buy their product. And usually when I buy their product, I get a 10% or 15% discount on their product. That guy is also getting a kickback. And by the way, that 10% thing we talked about, I want 5% of that. And so that's me pointing a finger at one of my guests and saying, "We just closed
you
the
should
deal."
talk. You should talk to Ian when he comes in, because 5% of like a $40,000 car is a lot more than 5% of $120 a year service charge.
Okay, I want 50%.
to build your own Flash website that would have cost almost as much as a car 5 years ago.
Well, exactly. No, so for us, and we're going to try and do this every show from now on, there's just some transparency.
Oh, by the way, if you send somebody over to see Ian to get
Or
a
maybe
car,
not.
he'll send you $100. I know, because he sent me $100.
Really?
Yeah.
All right. So everybody that's looking at a car, send me $100 and I'll connect you with this guy. And he'll give me another $100. Yeah, I got 200. Yeah. No. Anyways, so here's what it's all about. We give away wine, and on the wine there is a label that says this wine is today we've actually got cider, which is awesome. In about a month, I tried it a week ago. It's crap, but in about a month it'll be awesome, and that goes to our guests. But really, the thing is that is supported by me, who comes in here every second Wednesday and spends some time talking and chatting and being a host at the show. And I have a business around that. And the reason I do this is to get recognized. So that is my statement about it. And Andrew has the same statement,
Yes, absolutely.
but shorter. So
I've got a
moving
wonderful
on.
way with Word. Yes, absolutely.
Hey, by the way, if you're ever planning on buying a phone or getting the best deal on a phone, Andrew is the guy. And he works for a company I'm not going to tell you about. If Andrew wants to do it, and it's not Windows, if you hear that ching, he is getting $50 every time we hear it. No, just kidding. But we
And-
have our own lives. And really, this podcast right now is 100% supported by us. Eventually, we might get sponsors, and we'll be totally transparent about it. So get back, to our digression of our digression of our digression. Our guy in Australia who sent us beer, thank you very much. Yes, you have to be transparent when you're talking about what you're doing, because you don't want to basically...
See, there it goes again.
Yeah, and I was like, this guy is rich compared to me. The beer's on you tonight, dude. So, now does he have another question in there?
No, he did say that he talked to the manufacturer. He contacted Nathan, the manufacturer of Old, and he's trying to get them to send some T-shirts.
No. No. I read between the lines. He contracted, hey, I'm in Australia. Australia's such a cool company. We got this black beer. It's so cool. And we got this manufacturer called, what's the manufacturer name? Because I'm about to trash them.
Well, I'm not going to tell you now that I know that you're going to trash them.
Okay. I promise not to trash them if you tell me their name.
I think it's Thule's Old.
Okay, so these Thule old guys that are complete jerks, he sent them an email, and they're, as he says in their very intelligent marketing department, sending back an email at how to send beer to Canada. And it was wrong anyways. So these guys are totally not supporting the guys. So I don't know. All you guys in Australia, stop drinking Tully's black beer until they know how to export beer to Canada for free to the Bunker Project. That's all I got to say.
All right. So I think that pretty much wraps us up.
How many minutes is this show so far?
How many beers, you mean?
Yeah. I'm on 4.
Maybe what he
4.5.
also did, and we'll post it. I think I think you already posted on the Facebook page.
Oh, yeah.
He
He's
sent
doing
us
our
a
advertising campaign.
No, he sent us a recipe. Yeah, we talked about that.
I put that on
last week.
Facebook, yeah.
We talked about that last week. But he did send us a recipe that uses black beer to make some really good beef.
Yeah,
So
and if you guys are into beef, here's the Bobby recipe for beef. You go to Safeway or some other wholesale distributor of large chunks of red meat. You get the cheapest chunk of red meat you can find, and you take that home. You get some tinfoil. You slap it in the tinfoil. You take some, what do you call it, onion soup mix dry stuff. You can get a pretty good deal on it. The cheapest stuff you can find. You throw it on top of the meat. You don't even rub it in. You throw it on, and you wrap up the tinfoil to totally seal it. Put the oven, 250 degrees. Put it in the oven, and we're talking like 7, 8 o'clock in the morning when you're about to go to work. Put that in the oven. Go to work. Come back from work 8 hours later, the whole house, oh my God, I'm living in a hamburger. It's awesome smell. And you open up the oven, and this piece of beef that is basically a shoe when you bought it, it's so tender that you cannot use a fork to get it out of the tin foil.
You might want to use
I've
a
done that.
slow cooker or something instead of just throwing it in the oven.
No, it works in the oven. No, you put it in the tin foil, and it totally works. 250 degrees, works in the oven. And you unwrap it from the tin foil, you put your fork in it, and you get, it just totally shreds. So you basically have to pick it up with your hands and put it on a plate. And then you get the gravy out of it. And I just stick that sucker in the fridge, let it thaw down. Next morning, shunk, shunk. Nice sandwiches for the office.
It's like pulled pork almost.
Oh, man, it's pulled beef.
Pulled beef, yeah.
Now we have a woman in the artist, and she's going like, no, come on, jump in there, come on. No, you gotta go to the mic. You gotta go to the mic. Is it you're in training? Go to the mic. It's like having a dog. It's a Mike.
Yeah, I can't eat meat anymore unless it's organic or kosher.
Well, that's okay.
After seeing the documentary Food Inc.
Oh, we're about to do a major digression here. Oh no. Andrew.
There's a health empowerment
Put the
episode
shackles
over
on
at
Andrew.
foodsanotdrugs.com all about fooding. Oh yeah.
Okay.
And this is the first Thanksgiving we didn't have turkey, just vegetarian.
Did you have salmon?
Wow.
My
brother is a strict
vegan. Vegan.
He's a vegan.
The V. The
Yeah.
big V.
Wow.
Is that old the guy shaking?
Hey,
his head?
there's a lot of good vegetarian food out there.
There's
no,
also
no problem there.
No,
This
there
place-
isn't.
There is.
I will take you guys to places in Vancouver.
And I'm not a vegetarian, but I can tell you there's a lot of really good vegetarian
Mine is
food.
pretty good. The naan Nom in Vancouver.
Oh yeah, the
Oh,
Nom.
it's
I go
awesome.
there all
By
the time.
gram. By the gram.
I go there all the time. The Nom is awesome. Buddha's Feast is my favorite menu
Yeah.
item.
If you guys are coming to Vancouver,
It's at 4th and McDonald. It is an awesome vegetarian restaurant. I ordered the Buddha's Feast. It's like a stir fry with this. They've got this special. You can buy it in Capers. The
It's
miso
cross-branding here, by the way, if
dressing.
you're confused.
Unbelievable. It's a great place. I love it. And there's Go ahead.
I just love the place. You have a plate, and they've got like this buffet, and you just like lob it on,
Well,
and
there's-
then
there's
you
no
come
buffet
to
there.
cashier. You come to cashier, and she takes it and she puts it in a weigh scale. It's like, oh, 450 grams.
no,
That's
not
$7.
that's not the Nam.
So you pay by the gram.
No, that you're thinking of something else.
No. Another place on it was usually in Broadway. Netcho, we may bring it up.
The
if I-
Mongolian grill.
Yeah, the Mongolian grill.
Yeah, that's what it's talking about, by the pound.
Yeah, I know.
you
That's
can-
a goat what they slaughter in front of you, isn't it?
Yeah, you can get bison there. You can actually have like bison, like real buffalo, and then you get to figure out how much it actually costs. And if you get it right, you get it free.
Nice.
If you don't get it right, you totally still have to pay
Yeah,
for it.
so Google. See, now that's a good use of Google. Program usage of North American bison. Hey, when I was in Shanghai, I went out hanging out with a guy, and we went to he said, oh, we got to go to this great restaurant. It reminds me of Homeland. So he was from not Bosnia, but one of those ex-Russian type places. You're from Europe. Give me some names.
He's from Israel.
Well, that's close enough. You're from
Those
Montana.
are,
Tell
those
me
are
about
Italians.
Montana.
They're all the
The
same.
Middle East.
Yes, somewhere over there. Sorry, guys in Europe, it's really bad. But send us some black beer, maybe I'll respect you. So, anyways, we went there, and the guy says it's a great place to get wild boar, and I say, yeah, ha ha ha. We go there, and guess what? It's all venison. You want some deer? You want some moose?
Hey,
you
you
want
know,
some wild boar?
I have-
It was fantastic food.
Bob,
So, hey, it's not available. in
you like
Vancouver.
you make fun of Americans for like not
I
knowing,
do not.
not
I
knowing
got
Canada,
very good
but-
friends. I got somebody in Seattle.
But you
who's
think
very
everything
cool.
outside of North America is Europe.
Well, everything's out of Seattle area. Maybe Portland's okay. Maybe Carmel, California. They're kind of cool. But everybody else, come on, give me a break. New York, they're a little uptight. They're rolled into money. And it's Texas. Let's not even talk about Texas. Who's that guy? The big B guy that was the president one day. Oh, please. Oh, my brother lives in the United States, and he lives in Boulder, Colorado, which isn't even the United States. Boulder, Colorado. Whoo, it's so cool. It doesn't even belong to the United States. So, and then you got the Midwest people, they with potato and stuff. They're very nice, but don't have iPads. We don't have a lot of material to work with here. Now that we're talking about Mexico, and we're going to talk like in Brazil, now that's happening territory.
California used to be part of Mexico and Texas.
And I'm still, I bet you they're still pissed off that they got ripped off about
They are.
that. I mean, you imagine how cheap tequila would be in California if they weren't part of the United States. They must be so pissed off. Arnold must be lobbying. Come on, guys.
Well, they're voting for making marijuana legal for recreational purposes coming up soon.
Well, hey, what can I say?
Then the feds are going to come down on them, and then Schwarzenegger is going to get the people all riled up, and then they're going to separate, and he's going to be the president
I hope so.
of,
Because
California.
Really, all I can say,
Because he can't be the president of America, but he can be the president of California
well, he can
once they separate.
Well, actually, if as long as he controls Congress, who cares?
Anyways,
Because really, that's where the power is.
we've already stopped the show.
Oh no! I'm
All right.
so pissed off.
Thanks for listening. Call 1-877-636-1474. Leave a message for the show.
And
Check us out at uncensoredsocialunderground.com.
what are we about?
We're all about social media, podcasting, internet marketing.
And digression to all other subjects, including politics and art.
www.facebook.com/thebunkerproject.
And look in any city in the world for a weird QR campaign. Scan it. Get it.
And you'll know what we're all about.
Yeah, man.
See you again next week. See you, Bob.
Bye.